With the presence of the majority of the BAC members, the meeting is called to order. BACSEC, please acknowledge the presence of the BAC DWG, BAC Secretariat, observers, prospective bidders present.
We also acknowledge the head procurement staff, Engineer Grace Joracho, the BAC Secretariat members and staff, also the newly created technical working group members headed by Engineer Cherry Nazareno, also the presenters from the planning and design section, and others concerned for these activities. We invited our resident auditor, Mr. Jufil Yap. Also, we have sent invitation to observers, and we have to confirm that this invitation was sent via email dated April 23, 2026 for the following observers: Attorney Eugene M. Alfaraz, Regional Coordinator and Observer for Crimes and Corruption Watch International Incorporated, through Mr. Ray Custodio, Certified Public Procurement Specialist, and copy furnished to Mr. Carlo Batalla, President, Chairman of Crimes and Corruption Watch International Incorporated. Also to Engineer Michael Salarda, President of Davao del Norte Combal Constructors Association Incorporated. We would like also to acknowledge the observers right here. Mr. Droselin P. Polong from JJRA's Construction and Supply Corporation.
May isa.
And also Jobert Paul P. Papag, also from JJRA's Construction and Supply Corporation. And Mr. Chair, we also acknowledge the online viewers, including prospective bidders and observers watching us right now via live streaming on our official YouTube channel, DPWH Davao del Norte DEO Procurement LS. Don't forget to click subscribe. Once again, good day and good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. The procurement activity this morning is the pre-bid conference for civil works. The invitation to bid number 26 LC 0020, construction of multipurpose building. Construction of multipurpose building, gymnasium at Barangay Santo Niño, Talaingod, Davao del Norte. 125.619134 degrees, comma 7.626008 degrees. ABC 9,405,000. Next is the 26 LC 0025, rehabilitation of NIA building, Barangay Buclad, Asuncion, Davao del Norte. With the ABC of 4,950,000. Next is the 26 LC 0029, construction of public water supply system, level 2, Barangay Mesaoy, New Corella, Davao del Norte, 44 million, with an ABC of 44,550,000. Then next is the 26 LC 0033, construction of water system at Barangay Palma Hill, Talaingod, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 6,930,000. Next is the 26 LC 0039, Bunawan Bridge, B01571MN, along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road, with an ABC of 17,287,200 pesos. Okay. So, may we proceed with the basic contract data to be presented by the representative from the planning and design section.
Okay, good morning everyone. Mr. Chair, can I ask a favor that I will present first the number 1 project, the Bunawan Bridge. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sige, proceed. Please.
Okay, good morning everyone. Contract ID 26LC0039, Bunawan Bridge B01571MN along Asuncion-San Isidro-Laak-Veruela Road. Okay, next. So the allocation is 17,640,000 and the ABC is 17,287,200 and the source of fund is the FY 2026 GAA and the duration is 121 calendar days. Okay, for the scope of work, we have Part B, the bridge survey and staking, project billboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and demobilization. On Part C, which is earthworks, removal of structures and obstruction, removal of actual structures, obstruction, 0.50 meter thick, asphalt concrete pavement, and Part E is the surface course, the gravel surface course, emulsified asphalt, bituminous surface wearing course, hot laid 40 mm thick, and bituminous concrete surface binder course, hot laid 40 mm thick also. And on the Part F, the bridge construction, the expansion joint 50 mm gap, the steel finger type, and also the expansion joint 40 mm gap for the compression seal, formworks and false works, carbon fiber sheets, epoxy injections on crack, patching, protective coating for concrete, and for the drainage and slope protection structures, the concrete slope protections. And for the Part H, miscellaneous, the 6121 or the refractorized pavement markings, white, and the refractorized pavement markings, yellow. Okay, next. So the project is under the municipality of Asuncion. So this is the location map of the project, the Bunawan Bridge. This is the second bridge going to Laak-Veruela Road. Okay, next. So the general plan, the total bridge length is 37.5 linear meter. It is a 3-span bridge. Okay, next. And this is the general elevation. Next. So this is the removal and replacement of asphalt overlay. In the plan, we can see the schedule. And next. So the typical cross-section of the asphalt. So we have the 40 mm thick on the bridge, and on the roadway, we have the 80 mm thick, which is 40 mm thick for the binder and 40 mm thick for the wearing. Okay, next. So this is the replacement of asphalt overlay. Sige, next. And for the replacement of transverse expansion joint, we have 3 areas, the abutment, 4, abutment A and B, or abutment 1 and 2, tapos Pier 1 and Pier 2. Next. So this is the type for the transverse expansion joint, the CPIC WD60 or the finger type. So this is the detail. Next. So this is the area to be replaced. This is abutment 1. Okay, next. The abutment 2. So the second type of expansion joint is for the longitudinal expansion joint. We have will be used in the widen area going Laak and going Asuncion. Okay, next. So this is the other type of expansion joint, the CPIC WOSD 50. This is the typical. Okay, next. So this is the replacement, the photos for the areas to be replaced. Next. And also the application of protective coating. In the plan, there is a schedule. And also, this is the honeycomb for protective coating. Okay, next. So these are the areas for protective coating. This is Pier 1, the foundation. Okay, next. And also the application of epoxy injection. Sige, next. So this is the photos of the defects or the areas need to be applied with epoxy injection. Next. So this is for the installation of the CFS or the carbon fiber sheets. So on the mostly is in the original 2 lanes. So it is in the all span 2 and span 3 will be covered with the carbon fiber sheets, and also one section on the span 1. See you next. So this is the photos for the carbon fiber sheets installation. And also this is for patching the secondary member. Okay, next. This one is the photo that is honeycomb with rebar exposure or corrosion. Okay, next. So the certification and the certificate of validations. Okay, that's all for the presentation. And also the difference in quantity of the previous and the newly computed due to the rental rates or the increase of fuel is our asphalt overlay is from 169.5 linear meter and now it is 108.5. Final it is 108.5. So that is and also the thermoplastic pavement markings also reduced. The removal is also reduced and gravel surface course is also reduced and asphalt, emulsified asphalt. And also we have from the thickness of 50 mm, we changed to the 40 mm on the bridge. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. By the way, thank you very much, Engineer Nazareno, our former Vice Chairperson, to the presenter. So back members, any query regarding the presentation? Implementing unit, any query regarding the presentation?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Sir Taying, mag-query lang unta ko atong mga changes. If katong gi-present nimo nga mga quantities, manini siya ang final. Ay, same lang po siya sa as posted na to. Oo.
So, supplemental. Supplemental.
Tama, posted. As wala SBB. Sige. Sige. Na-change na siya daan. Okay. Thank you po. That's all po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so Baksec, any query regarding the presentation?
None, Mr. Chair.
So, thank you. Let's now proceed to the next project.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
For the contract ID 26LC0020, construction of multipurpose building, Gymnasium at Barangay Santo Niño. At Barangay Santo Niño, Talaingod, Davao del Norte. With an ABC of 9,405,000, the contract duration of 150 calendar days under FY 2026 GAA. For the perspective, muna siya atong perspective. So this is a steel structure. Gym. Next. For the site development plan, nata existing na MPB dito, wooden structure na siya. Also, we have existing CR dira. Then, diha ibutang ato ang proposed gym with stage sa existing na MPB. So, ma-demolish ng existing na MPB and existing CR. Next. For the design, no, this is the typical covered court design with cassette plate na siya. Yan. Then, ang ato pong gamit nga main frame is ano na siya, channel. Channel bar. Next. So this is our plan. This is a 30 by 16 na gym. We have also stage. Yan, pero ang stage ani is ano lang, platform lang. Wala siya dressing room. Iyaha lang platform, which is the stage mismo ang ato ang stage. Next. So for the proof of ownership, we have survey plan. Survey plan na siya sa school building sa Santo Niño Elementary School. So ang atong site is nasa sulod sa Santo Niño Elementary School. Next. Yan, for the photos, geotag photos. So this is the wooden structure nga ato ang ma-demolish as well as the CR, kanang concrete na CR. Next. So dira ibutang ang atong gym. Next. Yan. Next. For the summary of quantities, we have for other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization, and for the earthwork, we have seedlings, saplings for other programs. So kani siya is katong pang-replace sa ato ang maigo nga mga trees. Then for clearing, anapotay clearing and grabbing, removal of trees, which is 15 kabuk. Then removal of structures and obstruction, katong existing na MPB and CR. Then we have structure excavation, embankment from roadway and structure excavation, embankment from barrow and gravel fill. Next. For the reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete class A and B, reinforcing steel, grade 40 and 60, formworks and fosworks. For the finishing and sanitary and civil works, other civil works, we have CHB non-load bearing, 150 mm, cement plaster finish, painting works for concrete and steel. We have also for the roof framing, we have fabricated metal roofing accessories, ridge, hip rows, flashing, gutters, and for pre-painted metal sheets, it is long span and corrugated. Then for metal structures, we have steel fascia, bolts and rods, turnbuckle, sagrads, cross bracing, steel plates, and also for structural steel, we have trusses and purlins. And for the plumbing and sanitary works, we have catch basin and a storm drainage downspout. And electrical works, conduit boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel boards, and lighting fixtures. And for the mechanical works, we have water tank. So that would be the summary quantities. And moto ang bago nga kuan, bago nga summary quantities. Nalang ko yung comparison diri, which is katong una nga paw. Kaning naka-shade na murag orange is the remove items based sa old. Then kaning blue is muna ang na-change sa mga quantities. Yan, nasa changes no sa to ang structural concrete, sa reinforced concrete, sa CHB. Then natanggal ang atong finishing works. Then sa painting po natanggal. Then ay changes sa mga roofings. By the way, kani siya ang summary is natanggal ang stage. So ang nabili na lang sa stage diay is ano na lang ang platform. Katong platform na lang. Wala na siya atop. Ano na siya. Sa poste na lang siya, then platform. Ayan. So, moto siya ang marag changes. Ayan. Sige. So, kaning old og new diri kay kuha na siya. Business siya sa katong nagsaka man na atong mga prices no. So nag-apply ta atong prices sa fuel na itaas then so dili na siya for SB. So re-advertise man gud siya. So new quantities na. And yan. So that's the project po.
Okay, thank you. BAC members, any query regarding the presentation?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Okay, si Engineer.
Ask lang ko kung nakasecure na ba ang demolition permit?
Sir?
Demolition permit.
Demolition permit. Wala pa man ko'y balita sa kuwan, sir. Ipalawa pa lang ako sa tagtungod. Sa about sa demolition, sir. Kaya wa pa man pud mi na-receive good nga permit ana. Pero sige may contact sir sa kuwan. Sa barangay and sa school.
Then sa removal of trees.
Removal of trees.
Cutting permit.
Pag na-propose na niyo, na siya replacement, pero sa cutting of trees and permits, na ingnan na si Kuan, si recipient, nga sila ang mag-process. I-follow up na lang po namo.
Okay. So, included sa computation, kung niya, sa duration ang na-part na itong pag-demolish? Part siya sa duration?
Yes, sir. Part
Okay.
na yun siya, sir.
Pero, sige lang, bantayan lang nato kay once mag-NTP, tapos, di ba, i-process pa ang kanya? Basig di ta maipit?
Ang pag-validate pa lang, sir, na ingnan naman sila daan, sir, na inana.
Pero,
mag-process
pag
daan.
mag-action na ba ka nang execute na? Talap na
Sige
siguro
lang,
na?
sir, kaya amo ang tawagan karon sir. Unsay update sana, sir.
Okay, so,
Sige.
another napay line. So, ang dati ba, gamay lang ko, ang dati akob lang nato ang duha ka angle bar, no? Karon channel na.
Yes, sir. Channel bar
So,
na
mas
siya, sir.
ligo na siya. Kay channel na yun, no?
Dig-on na yun siya, sir.
Di ba?
Kay solid
Di ba,
naman
i-akob-
atong frame.
i-akob naman duha ka angle bar dati, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Thank you. So, implementing unit Any query?
There's no changes na po, Mr. Chair, as posted sa bidding documents. Thank you po.
So, thank you. Backsec, any query regarding the presentation?
None, Mr. Chair.
Okay, maklaro mong nan. Okay, so thank you. So let's proceed to the next project presentation.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. For the contract ID 26LC0025, rehabilitation of NIA building, Barangay Buclad, Asuncion, Davao del Norte, an ABC of 4,950,000 and contract duration of 90 calendar days under FY 2026 GAA. So this is the location of the site. Approximately away from our office, it is about 15 to 16 kilometers. And these are the geotag photos. So this is the existing MPB that will be rehabilitated for this project. So as you can see in the picture, this is a very old building. And next now. So sa inside niya, makita nato na damage na ang mga ceilings niya, that there is really a need for repainting. And ilang current CR is change na of use from CR to nahimo na siyang storage since not working naman. So this is the site validation sheet that we have conducted last year. And for the site development plan, so near lang ni siya sa highway, so kanang colored, inside the colored red na box is our existing multi-purpose building. And this is the new perspective. So from the previous, so ang changes ani niya is more on the aesthetic. So wala na tay cladding and ang WPC na to. So painting na lang na siyang mga color red instead of WPC. Though nagbutang putag front steel canopy para sa kanang salibo. And this is the floor plan. So for this project na atay mga existing masonry walls na ato lang siyang i-retain, and as well as natay new masonry wall as you can see sa floor plan. Tapos mag-include po dayta og new our additional column since during the validation we have found out that ang rear side sa building have no columns, existing columns. So for the stability of the project, since we will change the roofing to from existing na wooden frame to steel frame na siya. So we have decided to add new columns sa rear sides as well as new masonry. And for the truss detail, so for our replacement, we will have steel framing na instead dito was existing na wooden. And these are the minimum equipment requirement for this project. And these are the included pay items. So we have Part B, other general requirements, including permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, including diri ang DPWH and COA billboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization, as well as items for our signages for the agency name. For Part C, we have earthworks, including removal of structure and obstruction. So ang atong i-remove ani na project is ang existing na roofing and its frame, including na ang ceiling, as well as kadtong existing na rear walls for our new or additional na columns. For item for structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, and gravel fill. For Part D, we have reinforced concrete items including structural concrete Class B 3,000 PSI for our front extension ramp. For Part D, we also have structural concrete Class A 4,000 PSI for the additional columns at the rear side of the building. We also have reinforced steel deform grade 40 and grade 60 and the formworks and falls works. For Part E, we have finishing, sanitary, and other civil works items for the masonry works with 100 mm and 150 mm for the interior and exterior walls. Finishing works including the ceiling for pre-painted metal panel for the eaves and wall with 4.5 mm fiber cement board on metal frame for our partition. Carpentry and joinery works, specifically PVC ceiling panels on metal frame for our inside ceiling, glass tiles and trims for our CR walls and sink, and glazed tiles for our CR, cement plaster finish, decorative stone for our facade, polycarbonate sheets or panels which is solid for our front steel canopy nga roofing, reflective insulation, and the railings for the ramps. We also have complete painting works for masonry wood and steel. As for the roof framing and the roofing works, we have items for the ridge rolls, the flashings, the gutters, and the pre-painted metal sheets corrugated long span for our roofing. Metal structures for the steel fascia for the framing of our gutter and flashing, metal structure accessories such as bolts and rods, turnbuckles, sag rods, cross bracing, and steel plates. Items for our structural steel for the steel canopy, the trusses, and the purlins. For the fabricated materials, we have finishing hardware, items for our aluminum glass windows, sliding, owning, and the fixed type, for our replacement for existing na jealousy windows, for the frames and the doors which is wood panel. For Part E, we have complete plumbing or sanitary works including catch basin, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, plumbing fixtures, and the cold water lines. For Part E, we have complete electrical works including conduits, boxes, and fittings, the wires and wiring devices, panel boards, as well as our solar panel with inverter, battery, and other devices, and the lighting fixtures. For Part G, we have mechanical works for our fire extinguisher. And this the proof of ownership that we have secured to legitimize the use of the project. And that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, any query from the back members? Implementing unit, any query?
None, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Backsec, any query regarding the presentation?
None, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So let's proceed to the next project presentation.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Contract ID 26LC0029 with construction of public water supply system level 2 Barangay Mesaoy, Corella, Davao del Norte with an ABC of 44,550,000 with a contract duration of 210 calendar days. Source of fund is FY26 GAA BIP. Next, please. This is the perspective of the elevated tank. Next, please. Scope of works, we have the facilities for the engineers, then other requirements. Next, please. Next, please. From previous pre-procurement conference, the length is 11,594 meters. Due to price escalation, now only 9,074.19 meters, 0.019 meters. Next, please. These are connections. Next, please. From the bridge crossing. Next. This is the first site for the elevated tank, which is 40 cubic. Next, please. The second is 20 cubic only. Next. These are the geotag photos. Next, please. Next. And under Memorandum of Agreement, still naapasa sa regional office, kaya na-query sila. Gamay lang man noon to. Next, please. Next. Next. Certificate of validation and certification. Next. This is tax declaration for the site, first site, katong 40 cubic. Next, please. Ang isa ka site katong sa 20 cubic, under pa sa unsa kay napay deed of donation gina-process. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any query from the back members? Implementing unit query?
Mr. Chair, natay implementing unit will prepare the supplemental bulletin for the item this A.1.119, construction of combined field office and living quarters building for the engineer. So nalahi na siya, 8.1.3, construction of field office for the engineer na siya, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So mag-prepare taog SBB po.
Thank you. Baksek, any query?
None, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So let's proceed to the next project presentation.
For contract ID 26LC0033, construction of water system at Barangay Palma Hill, Talaingod, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 6,930,000, with a contract duration of 90 calendar days under FY 2026 GAA BIP. These are the perspective of the ground tanks. Next, please. Next, please. These are the new pipeline layout due to price escalation from 10,800 meters to 7,000 meters only. Next, please. These are the system details. From source, this is the geotag photo. These are the geotag photos. This is the spring source of the water system. Next. Certificate of validation and the certification. Next. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, again, back members, any query? So implementing unit,
None, Mr. Chair.
Sir Glenn,
Yes.
gamay lang pangutana. Sa adjustment sa length, dili siya maapektuhan ang from tank to tank niya. Asa ang adjustment dapit kay nagputol man ta. Asa gani ang asa dapit ang nag-shorten from 10,800 kay namo gud tay tank no propose 2,000 liter tank. Asa ang adjustment, Sir Glenn?
Murag dili na ni siya kaabot sa eskwelahan yata. Ni-adjust lang siya gamay.
Okay, dili na affected ng mga tangke niya nga ma-connect yapon siya. Kay ang
Connected gyapon siya tanan.
sige.
Kay more on sa communities mangyapon ang gibutangan sa tangke.
So mag-adjust yun ang kwan.
Oh, ma-adjust lang siya.
Ayo, 3,000. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So, I think
Pwede ibalik sa geotag photos. Mo na yung gihatag. From here, Manggod, pasaka mo na siya.
Mm.
Tapos na dito'y medyo katong ground tank na ibutang. Nya, ang pababa na po itong mga gagmay. Katong mga PE tank naman na siya. Actually, stainless na yung ilang ipabutang. Dili na PE tank.
Okay.
Maagyan naman siya gamay tanan.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I think that's the 5 projects, no? Requirements of bidding documents. Ni Mamay.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. So the requirements of bidding documents, including invitation to bid, instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and Philippine bidding documents related forms. The bidding documents were posted in the DPWH website and PhilJebs. Amendments in the provision of the bidding documents shall be issued through a supplemental bid bulletin and will be posted in the bid bulletin and notices. Documents to be submitted by the bidder, technical and financial proposals. Bid must be duly received by the procuring entities back at Kilometer 48, Barangay Kanukutan, Tagum City, Davao del Norte for manual submission. Or at electronic bids _ Davao del Norte at dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission. Bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. For electronic submission, prior to the deadline of submission of bids, the prospective bidder shall send an email attaching the copy of the official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in portable document file or PDF format. Only the electronic bids of bidders who have successfully submitted an electronic official receipt shall be accepted. Prospective bidders shall prepare their bids in 2 file folders in appropriate documents and file format, each for the technical and financial components. Only during the actual opening of bids shall the bidder disclose the passwords for his electronic bid. This can be done by the bidder's authorized representative verbally in person, through phone call, online platforms, or through writing. For joint venture, the format of pickup ID to be used by the bidder in naming their file shall be the pickup ID of the lead member. The step-by-step detailed procedure of electronic submission is stipulated in the bidding documents clause 22 and in Department Order 87 series of 2020. Also included in Department Order are the steps for the modification of an electronic bid, non-participation in the bidding, withdrawal of electronic bid, and proper email subject, and the file name for each file to be submitted to designated email address. For the technical proposal, PhilJeb Certificate of Registration Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR. Pickup license and registration in case of joint venture. Statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. If any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC in accordance with ITB Clause 5-5. The single largest completed contract shall be supported by an owner's certificate and of financial acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. The net financial contracting capacity computation in accordance with ITB Clause 5-6. Joint venture agreement, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of the 2 contractors. The bid securing in prescribed form, amount, and validity period. The bidder at its option shall submit a bid security in the form of a bidding securing declaration or any of the following: the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cash, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cashier's check, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in manager's check, and the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if surety bond. In case of extension of bid validity and bid security validity period, substitution of the bid security form is allowed. Bid securing declaration and the following forms may be used: cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, or surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Bids shall remain valid for the period specified in the BDS, which shall not exceed 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Should it become necessary to extend the validity of the bids and the bid securities beyond 120 calendar days, the procuring entity concerned shall request in writing all those who have submitted bids for such extension before the expiration date, therefore. Any discrepancy in the amount, even a centavo, means non-compliant. Project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart of the personnel to be deployed for the procurement project to be bid, list of contractors' personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid, with their complete qualifications and experience data. This personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the BDS. As per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. The said certification shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. As per Department Order Number 252, Series of 2025, issued by the Department of Labor and Employment, revised implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act Number 11058, entitled An Act Strengthening Compliance with Occupational Safety and Health Standards and Providing Penalties for Violations thereof. Under Section 10, Safety in the Use of Equipment, to quote, operator shall undergo appropriate training and certification from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, the Professional Regulation Commission, or other relevant government agencies before using the equipment. The DOLE may recognize training provided by equipment manufacturers, suppliers, or international organization if it is not available locally. Accredited safety officer, requirements for approval of construction safety and health program, required upon issuance of notice of award. In compliance with DOLE Department Order Number 252, Series of 2025, under Section 22, Occupational Safety and Health Standards for the Construction Industry. First aider with certificate of training issued by Philippine Red Cross or an organization authorized by the Secretary of Labor and Employment, requirements for the approval of construction safety and health program required upon issuance of notice of award in compliance with DOLE Department Order Number 252, Series of 2025, under Section 22, Occupational Safety and Health Standards for the construction industry. In compliance with Section 17 of DOLE Department Order Number 13, the implementation of construction safety shall be considered in all stages of project procurement, design, estimate, and construction, and its cost shall be integrated to the overall project cost under pay item B-71 and B-72 occupational safety and health as a lump sum amount to be quantified in the detailed estimate. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the BDS. As per Department Order 58 Series of 2012, all prospective bidders are mandated to state in their bid documents a complete technical description of their pledged equipment, whether owned or leased, such as but not limited to the engine number, year, model, chassis number, plate number, production capacity, and load capacity. In addition, the prospective bidder should also be required to state in their bid documents the particular place or site where the equipment are located as provided for under Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. If any piece of equipment is not in the location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Failure by a prospective bidder to comply with the said requirements shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. Pursuant to Department Order Number 171, Series of 2025, guidelines on the use of DPWH Performance Evaluation System for constructors, consultants, and supplier. Department of Public Works and Highways recognizes the necessity of institutionalizing formal performance evaluation systems for all types of procurement to ensure that past and ongoing performance records are consistently considered in critical stages of procurement and contract management. At the eligibility stage pursuant to Section 54-4-2-5 of the IRR for infrastructure projects, bidders shall submit proof of satisfactory past performance, such as CPES rating of at least satisfactory or an owner's certificate of final acceptance or equivalent for private sector contracts. Bidders must ensure to the adherence to Department Order 110, Series of 2024 for the implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirements for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. Hence, bidder must attach to the technical envelope their ISO 9001-2015 certification. Failure to attach will be disqualified of their bid. Pursuant to Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025, only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects, The Omnibus Sworn Statement in accordance with Section 54-3 of the IRR, 11 items. To ensure compliance to memorandum dated February 24, 2026, with the subject clarification on the implementing of beneficial ownership information or BOI disclosure requirements under the memorandum dated November 19, 2025, in accordance with RA number 12009, in accordance with Section 82 of the Implementing Rules and Regulation of Republic Act number 12009, provides for the disclosure of beneficial ownership information for legal entities participating in government procurement. In this regard and consistent with the intent of said provision, the following implementation guidance is adopted. Considering that the current omnibus statement already incorporates sworn declaration relating to beneficial ownership disclosure, and in order to streamline documentary requirements and avoid duplication of sworn submissions, the separate submission of the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership, Annex A, shall no longer be required. In lieu thereof, disclosure of beneficial ownership shall be established through submission of the latest General Information Sheet or GIS reflecting beneficial ownership information or BOI duly filed with the stamp received by the Securities and Exchange Commission. This requirement shall be specified in the documents comprising the bid as mentioned in item number 4 hereof, and shall be submitted by the bidders in its bid. The requirement shall apply only to the entities enumerated under Section 82 of the IRR, namely legal entities such as corporations, partnership, private sector organizations, foundations, and associations. For the financial proposal, financial bid form, bid prices, bill of quantities in accordance with ITB clauses 13-1. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated. Otherwise, it will be rated as failed. Bidders shall enclose their technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component and the financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in outer envelope marked bid, and bid's proposal must be in A4 size. Further, the authorized liaison officer will be the one to drop the bids. Bids submitted through courier will not be accepted. Bidders shall submit 2 original copies and 1 copy of certified true copies of the technical and financial components of the bid. The original copy of the bid shall be typed or written in ink and limited to 2 decimal places in amount and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to the procuring entity's back in accordance with ITB Clause 18-1, bear the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the ITB Clause 1-1, and bear a warning, do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids in accordance with ITB Clause 19. The bidders are also advised to be responsible on their bids submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposals should have proper tabbing in words, based on the order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents in chronological order. Further, bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents or documents attached in the previous submission of bids, which have the signatures and countersigns of the back members. Late bids submitted will not be accepted. All forms as mentioned in ITB Clause 17-1 must be completed without any alterations to their format. No substitute form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the bill of quantities under Section 9 hereof, shall be signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be a ground for the rejection of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, or overwriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract. All bid documents are still subject to detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days after the bidding to file for a motion for reconsideration.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, deliberation recommending award and award. After determining the names of the bidders that submitted bids for the contract at hand, the BAC, assisted by its BAC Secretariat, shall check if each bidder that submitted bids is eligible to bid for the contract being procured. This shall be done electronically using the DPWH CWA. The BAC Secretariat shall enter into the CWA the pickup license number and/or name of the bidder. The CWA program will then electronically process and match the bidder's capability or eligibility data in the CWA. The computer program will automatically determine if the bidder meets the following eligibility requirements. The cost of the bidder's SLCC is at least 50% of the ABC of the project to be procured, and the bidder's NFCC is at least equal to ABC of the project to be procured. The program will also automatically generate the results of eligibility check. The reasons for ineligibility will also be automatically shown in the notices of ineligibility. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act or NGPA. The office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, and not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to be affected bidder or bidders. The procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation and comparison of the bids which have passed the opening and preliminary examination of bids pursuant to ITB Clause 22 to determine the lowest calculated bid. Lowest calculated responsive bidder is the award criterion. The same will be applied to detailed checking evaluation of the technical proposal. Then the bidder rated as the lowest calculated bid will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders found to have conflicting interest shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand, without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All prospective bidders shall be required to submit a sworn disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership, clearly identifying the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly, through shareholding, voting rights, contractual agreements, or other means of control. Failure to comply shall be a ground for the automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process. As per the said DO, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in single contract or at least 10% in 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 days and to complete them within 30 days after the receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies, or failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificate of acceptance within 30 days and to complete the works within 90 days after the receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection, or liquidated damages currently imposed on the contractor. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, we will be sending you a letter being the lowest calculated responsive bid. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process as per DO number 127 series of 2018. The BAC, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification as per DO number 127 series of 2018. The equipment verification team will conduct an inspection on the verification of the equipment pledged by the contractor.
Mr. Chair, we would like to inform our bidders that there are common reasons for them to fail their bid. Number one is failure to follow the posted supplemental bulletin on PhilJEP's and DPWH website. A contractor may fail in the bidding process if he or she does not strictly comply with the requirements, revisions, or clarifications stated in the supplemental bulletin posted on the PhilJEP's and DPWH website. Number two, incorrect pay item, description, unit, or quantity in the bill of quantities. Errors in the bill of quantities such as incorrect pay items, descriptions, units of measurement, or quantities may result in disqualification during the evaluation of bids. Number three, inconsistencies in the equipment pledge and supporting documents. The contractor may be disqualified if the equipment listed in the equipment pledge does not match the attached supporting documents such as official receipt, certificate of registration, proof of ownership, or lease agreement. All details, example, equipment type, plate number, capacity, and ownership information must be consistent and properly documented. Number four is non-compliance with SLCC, supporting documents requirements, section 52-4-2-5. As required under this section, the single largest completed contract must be supported by any of the following: an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, a final rating of at least satisfactory under the constructor's performance evaluation system or CPES, or a similar performance evaluation or monitoring document. For contracts with the private sector, an equivalent supporting document must be submitted. Failure to provide the required document may result in disqualification. Number five, alteration or substitution of prescribed bidding forms. Section 9, Philippine Bidding Documents Related Forms, ITB Clause 17-1. Pursuant to this section of the Philippine Bidding Documents Related Forms, the forms required under ITB Clause 17-1 must be completed strictly in accordance with the prescribed format. No alterations, modifications, or substitutions to the official forms shall be accepted. Any deviation from the required format may lead to the rejection of the bid. For corporation and partnership, failure to attach the GIS reflecting the BOI duly received by the SEC and sworn affidavit in their bid as part of their eligibility in compliance to Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009 on the declaration of beneficial ownership shall also be ground for disqualification. Failure to specify the applicable taxes itemized in the detailed estimates using the prescribed bid form, particularly under Declaration E, shall be a ground for disqualification. This is in accordance with the instruction to bidders, Clause 17-2, and as provided under Section 9 of the Philippine Bidding Documents, the forms referred to in ITB Clause 17-1 must be duly accomplished and submitted without any alteration to their prescribed format. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. There are 26.
Other matters, BAC members, TWG, BACSEC.
For the other matters, Mr. Chair, for information and guidance for the prospective bidders, our government issued a memorandum and department orders. These are the following. Number one, interim guidelines upon lifting of suspension on procurement activities for locally funded civil works projects as referred into DPWH's memorandum dated September 16, 2025. These are, under this memorandum, the live streaming of bidding activities, see Section 38.2 of the IRR of RA 12009, geotagging of project sites under the 085 series of 2020. Preparation of a straight line diagram under the 246 series of 2024. Net financial contracting capacities, see Section 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009. Number 2, bidders' responsibilities, the Philippine bidding documents, procurement of infrastructures projects. Number 3, Department Order Number 28, Series of 2024, dated February 26, 2024, subject 3 strike policy of infrastructure goods and consulting services contracts. Number 4, occupational safety and health program in the instruction to bidders. Number 5, Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024, subject guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program for DPWH infrastructure projects. Number 6, Department Order Number 171, Series of 2020, dated August 30, 2025, subject guidelines on the use of DPWH performance evaluation systems for constructors, consultants, and suppliers. And lastly, number 7, Directive 2 requires submission of general information sheet reflecting beneficial information, memorandum dated February 24, 2026, clarification on the implementation of beneficial ownership information disclosure requirements under the memo dated November 19, 2025. And we have to remind also the prospective bidders that their bid documents must follow the completeness and sufficiency of the bid. The discounts offered should be clearly and legibly written with signatures so that the back will be able to read it during the opening of bids. For information also, they are not allowed to follow up their bids during evaluation period until the issuance of the notice of award unless the back in writing request for a clarification of its bids. The no contact role policy will be strictly observed. Whatever submitted during the dropping of bids will be evaluated. Submission of locking or another document is not allowed. If there are any changes in the basic contract data of these projects, kindly closely check and monitor the DPWH and PhilJEP's websites for information and guidance regarding bid bulletin, and also if there are amendments to the bidding documents of these projects and all other notices, example, postponement or re-advertisement. For the timelines, Mr. Chair, the opening of bids will be on May 12, 2026 at 10 a.m. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued. So, are there any other matters for discussion?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. In summary, these are the key points discussed for today's pre-bid conference. For contract ID number 26LC0020, there are no changes in the basic contract data. However, for this contract, the demolition permit and the cutting permit are yet to be secured. For 26LC0025, there are no changes. For contract ID number 26LC0029, a supplemental bulletin will be issued for the replacement of item A1119 with item A113, construction of field office for the field engineer. And for contract ID numbers 26LC0033 and 39, there are no changes. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any move for adjournment?
I move for the adjournment of this proceeding.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, adjournment has been moved and